Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Believe in Bengal podcast. Yours truly, Solomon Wilcots. And right now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the show Cincinnati Bengals defensive line coach Marion joins us on the show. And coach, first of all, how you doing? I know you're getting off the field. You guys are involved in your OTAs, and you get to get your hands on the new talent, don't you?
Yeah, well, they coming in tomorrow, but I look forward to getting my hands on them. It really feel good, really just getting back out on the grass. I've been, we've been in here through the draft, through pro
Yeah.
days, and through visits. Man, I'm kind of sitting. This chair is no good for me. I really want to get out there on that grass.
Look, I think people should know this because I think the Cincinnati Bengals are a unique franchise. And I understand that the coaches, you guys get to really participate in the draft process and the evaluation process. And they really try to get you guys the players that you feel that really works best for what you guys do. Just kind of take us into that just a little bit and tell us what kind of players were you looking for as you were looking to add talent to this defensive line?
Well, that is a big plus. We go up in there, we got three or four people getting their different reads on it. They usually rank it by what the defensive line coach thinks about the players, and then when Duke Tobin's going to make that final decision. But the
Yeah.
coaching staffs are definitely involved. We look at a lot of players, but no problem because we know there are big decisions.
Yeah.
So I get excited about it.
Yeah, and then you get to have some kind of buy-in, right? I think it's really good when coaches have some buy-in. Their players aren't really forced upon them. It's kind of a meeting of the minds. You guys gather a consensus, and then it's all go. And I think that you would have to have been pretty pleased when you guys use your second round pick to take Chris Jenkins from the
Mhm.
University of Michigan. What did you see in him? What kind of player is he, and what excites you about him?
Well, one thing about him, he's a champion.
Yeah.
We want to get more champions in here because those guys who are used to winning,
Yeah.
they bring that attitude to the locker room. Losing hurts, and he's got good DNA. I think we understand that coming from his uncle and his daddy. But
Yeah.
he's a tough football player. When we play in the AFC North, you better have some toughness in you. Down
Yeah.
inside with them big boys, man, there's nothing pretty in there. That's it ain't for everybody.
That's right.
It's a mindset down in there, but he's tough. He understands the position. And it's funny. He told probably he's been a defensive tackle all his life. We always want to play running back or receiver, but in the real world, just slide down in there, man, and get comfortable.
That's
But
right.
he can play multiple positions.
Mm.
He did a lot for him. Has he got a good mindset for it, got a good feel for the position. So I thought he checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, look, in this league, the premium on interior defensive linemen, it's just going up and up. The importance of what they do down inside. They're very close proximity to the center, which means they're close to the quarterback. If they can get great penetration, you and I both know you can push the pocket in the face of the quarterback. It's very disruptive. If you can get penetration, disrupt the running game, those players are so very valuable to any defense that's going to play at a championship level. So you guys went and got two interior defensive linemen early in the draft. In the third round, you go get Jackson McKinley from Texas A&M. When you put the tape on him, what was it that stood out to you, Coach?
Same thing. Both of those guys are explosive football players. They're playing with the toughness. He's coming out of one of the best conferences in the world, coming out of the SEC. His competition level was every week. We knew that, and then he's got a nice, great demeanor about him. Got some toughness to him. Plays some multiple positions because we do look at guys who are just not one trick ponies. We want them
Yeah.
to be able to play different positions because on game day we don't have a luxury of bringing 10 and 12. It's 8, 7, 8, whatever
Yeah.
you have. So if that guy can go out and play some 5 technique as well as 3 technique in
Yeah.
those, they're very important. And very fortunate that those guys was there for us, and they came in on their 30 visits. So we interviewed them at the combine. They came in on their 30 visit. We had a good feel for them and what kind of men they were.
Coach, help our listeners and our viewers kind of understand a little bit more. You have an under defensive tackle, then you have a guy who's playing in the over position. You
Mhm.
guys might be in a 3-4 front. You might be in an odd front or an even front from time to time. Just give us a little glimpse of maybe how the versatility of what those positions would call for.
Yeah, well, we call our sub when we're in. They're in their nickel package. They're not quite 4-by-1 yet, but they're getting close. So we
Okay.
gotta. We're gonna have our smaller, faster guys out there to match up with the offense, and there's a lot of match defense,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. They get big, we get bigger.
There you go.
And that's the luxury of it. Is hey, if you get big, we keep getting bigger. The bigger you get, the bigger we get. The faster
Yeah.
you get, the faster we get, and that's where that versatility comes in. I think when me and you probably played, hey, those the years and days of the just big slugs at nose guard, man, those days are over.
That's right.
Because of the athletic game that's now playing in the National Football League.
Yeah.
That old college game is really creeping into this league at
Right.
a fast pace with the zone reads, the stretch.
Yeah.
They're making you be a better athlete on a day,
Hmm.
on a play in, play out basis. So those guys who can move their feet, who can also sit in there and play against double teams,
Yeah.
who got a good feel for playing that nose guard. But we mentioned earlier, if you're not good at defensive tackle, I don't care what other position you have.
That's right.
That's the center of your defense. A coach told me a long time, it goes straight back. D
Yeah.
tackle, Mike linebacker, straight to that safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the center of your defense. That's the heart of your defense. So if you're not good in the center of your defense, it's tough to play.
Coach, I came here as a safety, as a corner, then moved to safety. And I remember, how you're watching practice. And back then, it was 2-a-days. You were going live, man. We had a guy, Tim Crumrye. You may have heard of him. The guy was bloody coming back to the huddle every single snap. And man, he was the guy that kept us clean. He's the guy that could take on 2 or 3, right? To keep your Mike backer clean, to keep the safety clean. He was as valuable as they come. So I have a high appreciation for interior
Yes.
defensive linemen. Talk to me. Look, I know you lose players. You like to be able to keep them all, but you can't keep a DJ Reader. When you see him walking out the door, tell me, what did he mean to this team? And what does it mean to be bringing in a guy like Sheldon Rankins in free agency to kind of help fill that void?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Crumrye for us. I was a big fan of his.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw tape of him 100 times on how he used his hands, how he
Yes.
can hunker down at the point of attack. And
Yep.
then he was on the sideline last year or in practice. Man, I felt like one of the young boys.
No, that's right.
I'm telling my boys, man, you need to check this guy out.
Woo.
He's a player.
Yes.
And well, I've been knowing DJ for a long time. Even when he was a young boy, since he was about 15 years old,
Yeah.
coming out of high school, and then getting a chance to coach him in college, and then get a chance to coach him again in the National Football
Wow.
League. It's a bond there past football.
Hmm.
And anytime when I got the text, it was hard,
Yeah, I bet.
but
I
I
bet.
knew exactly what he was telling me. When
Yeah.
he started off with that thank you speech,
Yeah.
I knew he had made a decision that he was going, doing something different. But
Yeah.
yeah, we understand that, and
Yep.
these guys got to do what's best for their family all the time, and I can respect that. Um, and then but you got to get in the business. You got to look for another defensive tackle.
Yeah.
It's hard to replace a DJ Reader.
I agree.
Sheldon Rankin's been a proven player in this league
Hmm.
since he played. When he first got in there, coming out of Covington, Georgia, great football program down there. Then he goes into a good college situation and comes out of there, and he's played with some good teams and been productive, his whole career. So, I'm excited about working with him. Um, Looking forward to it. He's a little different. He's different than DJ.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to working with him. I mean, he's bringing some toughness, bringing some athleticism.
Mhm.
He's bringing some winning football in here too. So we like those winners, man. We try to get them winners as much as possible.
I mean, God, hey, look, you get a 2-time captain in Jackson McKinley. You get a team captain from the University of Michigan and Chris Jenkins. You guys know how to pick them. You look for all the right things within a player. Even late in the draft, in the 6th round, you get Cedric Johnson from Ole Miss. What do you see in him as another edge rusher to offer and get into the rotation?
I think he was the biggest surprise, probably sitting there at that pick. Cedric had been through a couple of defensive coordinators at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Last year he played a more outside linebacker than defensive end, and but he is a guy who can run. He's a 4'6" player who plays 4'6". He's got the body
Yes.
to add good strength and grow. So we're excited about him, and just talking with him about football. He's a football player. I almost said kid, but they're men now.
That's right. That's right.
His mindset, he likes it. And all three of those guys, they really like football, and that's an advantage of it too. When you're talking football to them, they kind of lean in, yeah, coach, yeah. Start talking about everything else. How's everything? Good, coach. Football, they go, yeah. So you get that in them, and them being captains of the team.
Yeah.
And the best reward probably as a player is being chosen the captain by your peers.
That's right.
Anytime your teammates or your people in that room look up to you enough to say, he's our leader, that is a reward in itself. I've been fortunate enough too, man. Last 2 years, had captains in my room. DJ Reader was a captain. Sam Hubbard has been 3-time captain. So, hey, man, them guys are worth their weight in gold, and they're good football players. So it's a combination of good fortune.
Yeah, and look, you have yourself a good room of players that really do put the team first, right? Every player has their own individual goals, but you got to buy into the team goals, because if the team is winning, the team is doing well, everybody's going to do well individually. There's no doubt about it. You seem to have a group that's already bought into that mindset. One last thing, Coach, what would you like to accomplish, particularly with these young players in the early days of OTAs, mini camps, and as you get through the training camp and get ready for the regular season? What are you looking to accomplish in that room?
Well, right now, first thing I do is got to get them lined up.
That's right. That's right. Got to know where to line up.
Got to get them lined up first, Then once I get them lined up, then I'm going to teach them how I want them to do it. Then we start talking about blocking schemes and, protections and all that. But the first thing I'm going to do, I want to get them lined up.
That's right.
Lined up. Then when they leave here, I want them to leave with confidence.
Yeah.
That they know what they're doing. That old phrase of confidence. Knowledge equals confidence, and confidence makes you play fast.
That's
so
right.
Trying to put as much knowledge in their head as much, give them that confidence though when they come back, and things get, I always talk about, I said, we had no helmets. Then they start adding a helmet. Then they start adding shoulder pads.
That's right.
Hey, we're ready to go.
That's right.
So once
That's
we
right.
get to that point in training camp, I don't want them out there thinking when they close left, hey, I already know where I'm supposed to be lined up. Now I can get into my focus, where my eyes are.
Right.
Hey, now I can play aggressive, because, hey, a coach used to always tell me, and then it used to bother me, he said a confused player and a non-motivated player looks the same. They're both slow.
They slow. That's right.
They're both slow. They kind of feel in their way.
Trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you probably was making checks back there, so you telling him he waiting on you, and you going,
right.
You're right.
That's right.
But get them to know what to do, understand the system to a certain point, and then when the live bullets start, they're ready to go.
That's right. Just got to be reactionary. I think it was Vince Lombardi said 90% of the game is played from the neck up. It's all about this. Got to know what to expect, and then just let it hang out. Coach Marion Hobby, defensive line coach, Cincinnati Bengals. Thank you for joining us on the Believe in Bengal podcast. Wish we had more time to hang out with you. I got to come down to practice and start spending more time down there with you, okay?
Well, hey, we'll look forward to it, man. We'll get you out there. We might get you out there and get you involved in something.
Yeah.
Can you still backpedal?
See if I got a back. Hey, you got to always check the back pedal first, Coach.
You got to check the back pedal.
That's right.
Hey, wide feet not good. I know that much. I ain't never played back there. Wide feet no good.
You know your stuff, man. Take care. All the best to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us right here on the Believe in Bengal podcast. Look, we want you to tell us what you think about the show. You can go to, of course, the YouTube channel. You can go to Believe.com, where you could rate the show. You could give us a review of the show as well. Tell us what you want to know more about the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll be sure to provide it. So thank you for joining us, everyone, right here on the Believe in Bengals podcast.